So it's just that when something like this happens, you go back and you think, okay, at least I did this. Where somebody came and said that.
Yeah.
And that's also I think it's all the transaction stuff. So much conversation
and then see how can I make this work while also helping them as
Having really social
I don't have time to talk to people. Like people reach out to me and say, I don't have employees reach out to me and I don't have. Please. And I told my manager, I have my time to talk to people. People are reaching out to me.
Going out to the
Because my new model of damper and
what brings out the best.
So your situation
I like to manage the
itself.
complexity of
Let's take about another 20 seconds before we bring our attention back to the group.
I think there is no doubt about that. It's just that at this point in time, I am more focused on stabilizing the organization because of all the changes. I know that I'm hoping that this is
Thank you. I can see some very good discussions.
during the stretching.
Is this a place that
Thank you.
Thank you all. Let me try to bring back the attention. I can see some very good conversation. I do not know all you had any work related or all personal, but I could see some great conversation. Who would like to maybe share one of? So how, first of all, as an interviewer, what did you feel when you have to ask if, about the passion and about your talking about strength and how it gets to your real business, and it could be anything on your personal, of course, yeah. But how did you feel as an interview? So those who interviewed, how did you feel?
It's nice. I mean, you get to know the person and understand them better. So, but it's a nice topic of conversation. So it was positive to make a better connection.
Very good, Anna.
Especially the passion and the strength part. It's like something that people want to talk about, right? So it had that kind of excitement.
So you enjoyed it. Very good. People who received it, the interviewee, how did you feel when these questions come to you?
it makes us think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's there in our head or we feel it. It's, when you were asked these questions, then you start thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start thinking. Anybody else have?
I think when you talk about your passion, you automatically feel like talking on and on and on. Probably that's the reason why there was so much of engagement.
We didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always good to talk about, because in our day-to-day work, we don't get opportunities very frequently to talk about it, right?
We're the one who's asking.
Yeah, we're the one who ask these questions.
No one has to ask.
So it's good. So you feel that somebody should ask me this question. Yeah, you feel that? What? How would you feel?
When I receive the questions, like I feel okay because I'm also the same with other colleagues here. I feel like to talk about my passion, like this can talk.
Anything from you? Last one from here.
As an observer, I see that there are some different needs going on around these two ladies, but yeah, I can feel the excitement, especially on the passion part and also strength part.
Very good. Very good conversation. I would take just a minute to share my little experience in this, in both situations. When I have to ask, I really get excited because I'm like wanting to know from people, right? Especially if it's other than work, I'm very happy. So I just like to know what and I'm a person who talk about family a lot. So I go and ask about their family and what does that interest them, and then how is that going to be affecting in the good or bad to your workplace is something which I definitely ask. But I'm the happiest person when I get to receive it. So I don't know how many of you will accept to that. I can give you one situation. I have my boss some of you can relate to that also, who always comes to the point. Discussion is that we have these deliverables. Have we done this? Have we done that? Off late, I'm sure he must have gone for some relaxing sessions or what, I don't know, but off late actually asks me, Jayanti, what is actually you like to do? What are you passionate about? Because I can see you all the time running around doing a multiple stuff. Is it that you have any focused one, or you want to do something? What is that you are passionate about? To his surprise, I told him something which he did not expect, I think so, because he thought I'll still come with some work related, right? I went to him and said, thanks for asking this question. You didn't ask me for all this time. So this is an opportunity, let me answer you. I'm a person who like to spend most of my time on social service. I like to service people. He was taken aback. I said, is it surprising for you? No, actually, you know what? We share a similar passion. And that's where I understood that these kind of situations are very, very important. And you know, from there, I may not have to, it will be a long story, but from there, the relationship means it's just not only business, even outside business, we now today we have formed a kind of a group where we actually actively go and help people spend that extra time because we have some similarities in our passion. Wherever I can go and meet, and I also said, but I like more to serve old age home than maybe the orphanages. That's also because my mind is towards taking care of elderly people. So these kind of things started to work with us. So just try to put yourself in the workplace. How do you think it will work if you start having this kind of conversation?
That's very interesting thing because for myself, I personally do not share this information to my colleague unless we are very close. So, but yeah, it's great experience, and somehow you find someone who has the same interest.
You don't know?
That will help like our relationship closer.
It gets a relationship closer, that opening it out. And I'm sure that's going to be helping our colleagues to also be very open to discuss about what do they want to go in future. And that's where we are going to be now coming into another exercise where now I see Hannah, lady, I don't want her to be roaming around a lot, but let me try and at least then try and pair you up where you're seated. Yeah, the two of you. Okay, you had three there, right?
Yeah.
The two of you.
I can
There,
join them.
yeah, and Hannah will give you a little relaxing so that you don't roam around, you three of you. Yeah, sure. What we're going to do now is, we talk about good things, we talk about very, very good things, happy moments, but what if we get into a situation that is not that very happy? Party mind, for some time we need to keep it away so that we'll concentrate on this in this small exercise. I'm going to give you all a card each. I want you to read through that, discuss among yourself, and then we'll take it from there. So two of you. And take this also. Yeah? So you get two to talk to. I'm trying to see if I can manage everything. Okay, and you got two. Okay. Here you are three of you, so I will give you three cards because you get a little time to just talk about each of yours. Yeah. Can I give you about maybe 3 minutes? So 1 minute each for you all to think and talk about here. You get that extra minute to also try and discuss.
So what would it be?
Situation. What if this happens?
They probably do not see the entire perspective.
Unless they overlook it, or
So I think
we just talk on that and talk.
we have a question.
Yes, sorry.
How is this possible? That the ideal future is at odds with most of things.
You imagine the situation. Think of certain aspects what you have today.
So we should discuss how to manage this.
How is
saying
this?
what they think I want to and
I'm just thinking what could be the situation.
yeah.
Just a moment, please. All of you can just pay attention. Do you know what you're doing with that, right? You're going to discuss about it and how we're going to manage this situation. So what if you get into this? What if you get into this situation? How are you going to manage?
This
Clear,
did
Jaya?
happen to us some time ago, right? When we were not clear about our digital transformation journey and all that. Like we wanted to be the global integrator, but in 2016 we said we'll bring all the brands together. We didn't know how to do it. So we still were separate in DNL. And now in 2018 is the only time when we got Dampo and this together. So sometimes you're trying to do something, like we were only after cost, we were only after some things, but we didn't understand the LNS business and its opportunities and profitability, which is the case now. Because that's leading us to that global integrator of container.
Yeah.
So it's but this is very macro.
Yeah.
At a team level, I know what you're saying.
Saying that it's the ideal future is at
Yeah.
odds with
So maybe we
Yeah.
Maybe let's discuss something else. I don't know if this.
I believe they're saying what they think I want to hear, not how they really feel. So the theme is maybe not
You want to try out another one if you think you're not able to manage.
Yeah, here I think if the team is not trusting the leader, not comfortable opening up at all, so they maybe feel that they cannot express the real views, and then it's for the manager to reflect how do you make them comfortable.
Just ask him, yeah.
What about yours now?
If you're the
Yes,
best
I
friend,
need to
you
answer
won't
the
telling me
questions.
what I want. What you
Take another 30 seconds.
So you ask them, yeah, career related. Like you ask them on the passion strength,
So I think it's more
and that does happen, right? They can't link their.
correct. Sometimes, yeah, because sometimes what happens is people really don't spend a lot of time, thinking that,
Yeah.
what I want to do this. Sometimes, and then you start having a conversation and you just see a blank face.
Let's have our attention back.
Back, a look back. Yeah, sure.
Ready to
Sorry.
get back?
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Great conversations, good discussions. So, who's having the one question? Number one question. Can you just read out? I don't have my hand up yet.
They are struggling to answer the questions.
Okay.
So as a manager, I would suggest that you help them to clarify, and also what are the possible career moves that they could take. Somehow we also need to inspire them by showing different alternatives. Or it doesn't need to be from our own, but also it could be from someone else in another function.
Good point. Thanks, Paul. Anybody else having one wants to respond?
So we have the same question, and we said maybe they're struggling to answer, for example, the question about the business need and strength. Then start off with passion, because most people still have some kind of passion, and it would be exciting to let people talk about it.
Very good. Thanks, Sukansa. Let's go to the next question. Who's having number 3? 3. Yes, 3.
Oh, okay.
You have 3?
Yeah, and the future is easy cost with most objective. After we discuss that we have ask them about their real goal and then their real like and love. But if they still not able to most objective, just let them go. We can keep them because they doesn't like.
If they doesn't like, sorry, can you repeat it?
Because they have their own goal.
They have their own goal.
Yes.
Okay. Let's sometimes maybe we need to get there. We have to accept and move on as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about number 3?
Number 3 we discussed.
Sorry, 2. I'm going wrong with my numbers though.
Yeah. I believe they're saying what they think I want to hear and not how they really feel. So this is a situation, then the manager really needs to reflect because the team may not be very comfortable opening up. The team either feels, you know, that the manager is either intimidating, or you know, the manager does not value what they say. So here it's, I think as a manager, then I need to reflect on how do I make them feel comfortable first. So they don't just say what I want to hear, but they express their real views, what they feel about something.
Thanks, Radha. Thanks. I think that's where we need to really do that active listening, understanding them, and try to give that space. Very good. Anybody's got 4 in their hand?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I got
Okay.
So their aspirations are beyond what I think they can realistically achieve. So I won't say upfront say it's impossible or it's unrealistic. So instead I will help them to map out how they can go from here to where they are. What are the gaps, what they need to work on, and let them decide whether they want to go through it or not.
So just let me ask, which hat will you use here?
There's a mentor and coaching, I think. Yes.
As long as you know which hat you can wear and you can put it according to the situation. So let me draw your attention to the handout where you have these tips for what if situation. So there you have some tips talking about what the dilemmas you may come and some tips to help. Yeah, take your time, read through this. Before I would like to close my session and invite my colleague Radha into this for the next phase, I would just like to leave you all with one small experience of mine. Shaping your future, as I said, was since I've been this people manager, I had so many people I worked with, but one thing, one incident really comes very close to my heart. There was this one guy who had his personal problems. He's one of the top performer in the team. He had his personal issues, like his father was very sick and he had to go back to his homeland and work over there. So he came up to me and asked me about told me about his problems, and for a second I said, oh, top performer, how can I let him go? But that time I just stepped back and I said to myself, I should understand him. I should give him that space. I'm sure I'll work with him when it comes to the next, when he comes out of the situation. To cut the story very short, I let him go, and very soon, after 1 year, he came up to me and said, Jayanti, I think I've taken care of my situation. Will you be helping me come back? I proudly can say I did take that, because he's one of the top performer. I know he had been a loss for me. How do I bring him back? I created a position for him and I helped him to get back. Today, he's heading one of the customer service team in UAE. I'm very proud of that. With that note, I'm closing my session. Thank you all for very, very, very energetic participation. And let me invite Radha. Thank you so much.